Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of US state quarter dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're focusing on a particular gem that might just be sitting in your collection or even in your pocket change. We're talking about the 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter. This coin may look like just another piece of US currency, but believe me, there's more to it than meets the eye. Stick around until the end of this video to find out just how much this seemingly ordinary quarter could actually be worth. The year 1999 marked a significant milestone in the history of US coinage with the launch of the 50 State Quarters program. This ambitious project, which ran from 1999 to 2008, featured a unique design for each state, showcasing a distinctive symbol or landmark that represents the state's history and culture. And, of course, the Pennsylvania State Quarter was one of the first to be released. Featuring the iconic image of the Commonwealth's beloved Liberty Bell, this coin captures a piece of American history and heritage, making it a must-have for collectors. When you look at the obverse side of the coin, you'll notice the familiar portrait of George Washington, which has been featured on the quarter since 1932. But it's the reverse side that really stands out. The design for Pennsylvania showcases the Liberty Bell, with the state's name and its year of admission into the Union, 1787, etched around the bell. The inclusion of the Liberty Bell is a tribute to Pennsylvania's vital role in American independence, as it's most famously known for its association with the signing of the Declaration of Independence and the founding of the United States. At first glance, this coin might seem fairly straightforward, but here's where things get interesting. Many of these quarters were mass-produced, and they're still fairly easy to find today. However, some are much rarer than others. The true value of a 1999 Pennsylvania quarter comes down to its condition, any possible minting errors, and how rare the coin is within its batch. Not all Pennsylvania quarters are created equal, and there are a few key factors that could make one worth far more than its face value. First, let's talk about condition. As with any coin, the better its condition, the more valuable it becomes. You might have a worn-out, well-circulated 1999 Pennsylvania quarter that's worth just 25 cents. But if you happen to find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, one that has been carefully preserved from the moment it was minted, you could have something much more valuable in your hands. A mint-condition quarter will have sharp details, no visible scratches or dings, and it will have retained its original luster. Now, let's dive into the world of minting errors, where things get really exciting for collectors. Like with many coins, certain Pennsylvania quarters were struck with unique errors that make them stand out from the rest. For example, some of these quarters were misstruck, with the design off-center or with double dies, meaning that the image was stamped twice, creating a blurry or overlapping effect. These errors, though rare, can turn a regular coin into a highly sought-after collector's item. In addition to these minting errors, the 1999 Pennsylvania quarter also saw variations in the way it was produced. Certain coins, particularly those from the Philadelphia Mint, were made with a thinner, lighter coating, which could affect their appearance and value. Coins with these subtle differences, or even slight variations in the design itself, could be worth much more than their standard counterparts. But here's the real kicker. The most valuable 1999 Pennsylvania quarters are those that were made as part of special proof sets. These coins were minted specifically for collectors, and they were made with a higher level of precision, giving them a more detailed, glossy finish. Proof coins are typically struck multiple times to ensure the best quality, and they're often made from higher quality metals, adding an additional layer of value. If you happen to have a proof version of the 1999 Pennsylvania quarter, it could be worth a significant amount more than the average circulation coin. Now, let's talk about the big reveal. How much could a 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter actually be worth? While most of these quarters will only fetch a few dollars in pristine condition, there are some that have sold for much more at auctions and among private collectors. The most valuable versions, especially those with rare minting errors or those from proof sets, can be worth a stunning amount. And the price that one particularly rare and well-preserved coin can reach? Well, hold on tight, because it could be worth as much as $80,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $80,000 for a single 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter. That's an incredible sum for what might appear to be a simple piece of currency. So, if you happen to have one of these rare, error-filled, or proof coins lying around, or even if you come across one in your daily coin searches, make sure to take a closer look. You might just be holding on to a small fortune. Top 2, we have a special treat for you. One of the most captivating coins from the U.S. State Quarters series, the 2014 Arches National Park Quarter. You might think that a recent quarter from 2014 wouldn't have much of a story, but trust me, this one is packed with history, stunning design, and incredible potential value. Stick around until the end, because we're about to reveal how much this coin could be worth in today's market. Prepare to be surprised. Let's rewind a bit. In 2014, the United States Mint released a series of quarters honoring the national parks and historic sites in the United States. One of the standout coins in this series is the Arches National Park Quarter, which represents Utah's incredible natural beauty. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Arches National Park, it's home to over 2,000 natural stone arch formations, some of the most iconic in the world. This quarter, like all the national park coins in the series, was designed to capture the essence of that landscape, and it does so with style and elegance. The reverse of the Arches National Park Quarter features a stunning image of the park's famous delicate arches, which has become a symbol of both the state of Utah and the park itself. The arch is positioned against the backdrop of the rugged desert landscape, with its delicate yet majestic form standing out in sharp relief. The design beautifully captures the natural wonder and grandeur of the area, making it an absolute favorite among collectors and nature lovers alike. While the design is absolutely beautiful, there's more to this coin than just its looks. Like most state quarters, millions of these Arches coins were minted and circulated, but that doesn't mean they're all the same. In fact, some of these coins are incredibly rare and could be worth far more than their face value, if you know what to look for. The value of any coin, including the Arches quarter, largely depends on its condition and whether it has any unique features or errors that make it stand out from the rest. If you've ever looked at a coin and wondered, what makes this one valuable? The answer usually lies in its condition. Coins that have been in circulation for a while often show signs of wear and tear, scratches, dings, discoloration that lower their value. However, if you're lucky enough to find a 2014 Arches National Park quarter in perfect, uncirculated condition, you could have something very special. Uncirculated coins are those that have never been used in everyday transactions and have been carefully preserved from the moment they were minted. These coins are much rarer than those that have seen daily use, and they can be worth much more to collectors. But what really makes the 2014 Arches quarter a coin to keep an eye on are the potential minting errors. Minting errors are exactly what they sound like, mistakes that occur during the production of the coin. These mistakes can happen for a variety of reasons: a defective die, improper alignment, or issues with the planchet, the metal disc the coin is struck on. These errors can make a coin extremely rare, and certain errors can dramatically increase a coin's value. For example, one of the most sought-after types of error in the Arches quarter is the double die error, which occurs when the coin's design is imprinted more than once, causing a blurry or overlapping effect. This could be due to the dies being improperly aligned during the minting process. These types of errors can make a coin much more valuable because they're so rare and unique. If you find an Arches quarter with any noticeable minting errors, it could be worth far more than a standard coin. Another factor that could increase the value of the 2014 Arches quarter is its status as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters series. This series, which ran from 2010 to 2021, featured some of the most iconic national parks and landmarks in the United States. Because of the series' popularity and the stunning designs, collectors have been known to seek out specific coins from the series. A well-preserved Arches National Park quarter from this collection can be highly coveted, especially if it has a unique error or is part of a special proof set. But how much could a 2014 Arches National Park quarter actually be worth? Well, like most state quarters, the value of a standard, circulated coin is not much more than its face value of 25 cents. However, when you start to factor in rarity, condition, and potential minting errors, the price tag starts to rise dramatically. As it stands, the most valuable and pristine examples of this coin, especially those with minting errors or in high-grade proof sets, have been known to fetch substantial sums at auction. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the big reveal. A particularly rare and well-preserved 2014 Arches National Park quarter, especially one with a major minting error, could be worth as much as $77,000. Yes, you heard me right, $77,000 for a single quarter. That's the potential value of this beautiful coin in today's market, making it a real treasure for any serious collector. So, what should you do if you think you found a valuable 2014 Arches quarter? First, check its condition. If it looks like it's never been circulated, it could be worth more than you think. Next, take a closer look for any minting errors. A double die or off-center strike can make all the difference in its value. Finally, if you have a coin with a perfect grade, consider getting it professionally appraised or graded by a trusted numismatic service. Top 3, we're going to talk about a coin that's not just a piece of US history, but could also be worth an incredible amount of money, the 2010 Hot Springs National Park quarter. You might have seen this coin before, but trust me, there's much more to it than meets the eye. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll learn exactly why this coin could be worth way more than just 25 cents. Let's set the stage. In 2010, the United States Mint released the Hot Springs National Park quarter as part of its America the Beautiful Quarters program. This program, which ran from 2010 to 2021, was designed to honor the national parks and historic sites across the country. Hot Springs National Park, located in Arkansas, was the first park to be featured in the series. The coin itself features a design that symbolizes both the natural beauty of the park and its long history. Hot Springs is known for its naturally heated springs that have been used for therapeutic purposes for centuries. The quarter's design captures the essence of this park with an image of the park's historic bathhouse row, with the natural springs in the background. The architectural beauty of the bathhouses and the idea of healing waters make this quarter a true symbol of the park's significance. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this coin so special? After all, it's part of a series with many different designs celebrating the beauty of America's parks. Well, the key to the value of the Hot Springs National Park quarter is the rarity and condition of the coin. Like most coins, the Hot Springs quarter was minted in large quantities. In fact, millions of these coins were produced for circulation. However, not all of them are worth the same, and some can be far more valuable than others. The most valuable Hot Springs quarters are those in uncirculated condition, meaning they haven't been used in everyday transactions and have been carefully preserved. Coins that have been in circulation tend to show signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, or even small dings from the hustle and bustle of daily life. But a quarter that's remained in pristine condition, untouched and free from the effects of circulation, is much rarer and much more sought after by collectors. In fact, an uncirculated 2010 Hot Springs quarter is considered a treasure in the world of coin collecting. The higher the coin's grade, the more valuable it becomes. So, if you happen to find one of these quarters in perfect, uncirculated condition, you could be holding on to something truly special. But what really makes this coin a standout is the potential for minting errors. If you're a collector, you know that some of the most valuable coins are those that were struck with some sort of error during the minting process. And yes, the 2010 Hot Springs quarter is no exception. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the production of the coin, whether it's the design being off-center, the coin being struck multiple times, or an unusual die crack that appears on the surface. These types of errors make a coin unique, and collectors love error coins because they are one-of-a-kind pieces that cannot be replicated. For example, one of the most desirable types of errors in the Hot Springs quarter series is the double die error, where the coin's design is stamped more than once, creating a blurry or overlapping image. This is a rare mistake, and any Hot Springs quarter with this type of error is likely to attract attention from collectors and could be worth a significant amount more than a standard, well-worn coin. Another potential error that could make the 2010 Hot Springs quarter more valuable is a misaligned die error. This happens when the dies used to stamp the coin are not properly aligned, which can result in the design being off-center. Off-center coins are considered quite rare, and collectors are always on the lookout for them because they're visually striking and represent an interesting flaw in the production process. As with all error coins, the more significant and noticeable the error, the higher the value. And because the 2010 Hot Springs National Park quarter is part of the popular America the Beautiful series, there's even more demand for this particular coin among collectors. It's not just about the historical significance of the park, but also the uniqueness of the coin itself. With the right combination of error and condition, this coin can fetch a pretty penny. But how much could a 2010 Hot Springs National Park quarter actually be worth? Well, you might be surprised to learn that a typical circulated quarter is worth just 25 cents, as you would expect. However, in the right condition, or better yet, with a minting error, this quarter's value skyrockets. The most valuable versions of this coin, particularly those with minting errors, could sell for a stunning $74,000. That's right, $74,000 for a single coin. The price reflects how rare and desirable this coin is among collectors, especially when it has been well-preserved or features a rare error. If you find a Hot Springs quarter with one of these unique characteristics, you could be holding on to a true treasure. So, if you're out searching through your coin collection or your pocket change, take a close look at any 2010 Hot Springs quarters you come across. Pay attention to the condition, check for any minting errors, and keep an eye out for any unique features. You might just have a rare coin worth much more than you thought. Top 4, we're diving into a coin that's sure to excite collectors, history buffs, and anyone who appreciates a rare and valuable find, the 2001 New York State Quarter. This coin may have been in your collection for years, or maybe you've come across it in your pocket change, but trust me, there's more to this quarter than you think. By the end of this video, you'll have a deeper understanding of why this seemingly simple coin could be worth far more than you might imagine. So, stick around because we're about to uncover its true value and some secrets that could make it a treasure in your hands. Let's take a step back in time. In 2001, the U.S. Mint released the New York State Quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program, which aimed to honor each of the 50 states with their own unique design. New York's quarter is particularly iconic, as it features an image of the Statue of Liberty, one of the most famous landmarks in the world. The quarter captures the statue against a beautiful backdrop of the New York skyline, with the inscription "The Empire State" on the reverse side. The design represents not just New York's iconic symbols, but also its historical significance as a beacon of freedom and opportunity for millions of immigrants coming to America. So, why is this 2001 New York State Quarter special? Millions of these coins were produced and entered circulation, which means they're fairly common in everyday transactions. But just because a coin is common doesn't mean it doesn't have value. The value of this coin depends on a few key factors, such as its condition, any potential errors it may have, and whether it has any unique features that make it stand out from the rest. First, let's talk about condition. As you know, coins that have been circulated through daily use often show signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, and other marks that lower their value. However, an uncirculated 2001 New York State Quarter, one that's been carefully preserved and never used in transactions, is much rarer and significantly more valuable. If you happen to have an uncirculated version of this coin in your collection, you could be holding on to something special. An uncirculated coin will retain its sharp details, its original luster, and have no visible damage from circulation. Coins in mint condition are always in demand, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that are well preserved. Now, let's get to the exciting part: minting errors. When it comes to coins, minting errors are one of the biggest factors that can drive up their value. These errors occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, leading to imperfections on the coin's surface. Some errors are more common, while others are extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. The 2001 New York State Quarter is no exception when it comes to minting errors. And if you happen to find one with a noticeable mistake, you could have a coin worth far more than its face value. One of the most desirable types of errors for this quarter is the double die error. This happens when the coin's design is struck more than once, causing a blurry or overlapping image. Double die errors are highly prized by collectors because they're unique, and they often make the coin look completely different from a standard, well-struck coin. If you find a New York quarter with a double die error, you could be looking at a rare and valuable find. Another type of error that could increase the value of this coin is a misaligned die. This occurs when the dies used to strike the coin aren't properly aligned, causing the design to be off-center. Misaligned dies can result in some strikingly unusual coins that collectors are eager to add to their collections. These off-center coins are highly collectible, and depending on how extreme the misalignment is, the coin's value could skyrocket. But wait, there's more. If you happen to come across a 2001 New York State Quarter in a special proof set, you've got even more reason to be excited. Proof coins are made with higher quality metal and are struck multiple times to ensure a sharper, more detailed image. These coins are often made for collectors and are produced in much smaller quantities than regular circulation coins. If you find a proof version of the 2001 New York State Quarter, especially one that has been well preserved, it could be worth a significant amount more than a standard circulated coin. So, How much could a 2001 New York State quarter be worth? You might be surprised. While a regular, circulated coin is typically worth just 25 cents, an uncirculated version could be worth several dollars, especially if it's in pristine condition. However, when you factor in minting errors and rare variants like proof sets, the value of this coin can soar. The most valuable examples of this quarter, especially those with errors or from proof sets, have sold for impressive amounts at auctions and among private collectors. Are you ready for the big reveal? A particularly rare and well-preserved 2001 New York State quarter, especially one with a significant minting error, could be worth as much as $71,000. Yes, you heard that right. $71,000 for a single quarter. That's the kind of potential this coin has, especially if it's one of the rare, error-filled, or proof versions. So, if you've got one of these quarters sitting in your collection, or if you happen to find one while coin hunting, take a closer look. It could be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Top 5. We've got a very special coin to talk about, and I'm sure it will get your heart racing with excitement. If you're a fan of the United States State Quarter series, or if you're just getting started on your coin collecting journey, this particular coin is one that could be hiding a huge surprise. We're talking about the 2006 Nebraska State Quarter, a coin that might not seem like much at first glance. But trust me, there's much more to it than you might think. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be just as excited about this coin as we are, especially when you hear how much it could be worth. You won't want to miss it. Let's rewind a bit. In 2006, the U.S. Mint released the Nebraska State Quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. The program celebrated each of the 50 states with a quarter featuring a unique design that highlighted that state's history, culture, and natural beauty. Nebraska's quarter is no exception. It showcases a striking image of a bison standing proudly on the Great Plains with a backdrop of the vast Nebraska landscape. Above the bison, you'll see a banner with the word Nebraska and the state's nickname, the Cornhusker State. The design is a tribute to Nebraska's rich agricultural history and its role in shaping the American frontier. Now, you might be thinking, I've seen this coin before. It's a common state quarter, right? Well, here's where things get interesting. While it's true that millions of these coins were produced and released into circulation, there's a lot more to the Nebraska State Quarter than just the standard version you might find in your pocket change. The value of this coin goes far beyond its face value of 25 cents, and there are several key factors that can increase its worth exponentially. The first thing to consider is the condition of the coin. Most coins you come across will have been used in everyday transactions, meaning they've gone through the wear and tear of circulation. These coins usually show signs of damage, such as scratches, discoloration, or even small dents. But here's the thing. Coins that are in uncirculated condition, meaning they've never been used in circulation, are much rarer and far more valuable. So, if you happen to find a 2006 Nebraska State Quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be holding on to something truly special. The sharp details, the original luster, and the lack of wear make uncirculated coins highly desirable to collectors. These coins can fetch far more than their face value, and in some cases, they could even be worth hundreds of dollars. But it doesn't stop there. Let's talk about minting errors. Minting errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting. When something goes wrong during the minting process, it can result in a coin with a unique flaw or characteristic that makes it stand out from the rest. And yes, the 2006 Nebraska State Quarter has been known to have a few errors that could make it worth much more than you might expect. One of the most sought-after types of minting errors is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck twice by the same die, creating a blurry or overlapping image. A double die error can make certain details on the coin appear doubled, which is why collectors find these coins so fascinating and valuable. If you happen to come across a 2006 Nebraska State Quarter with a double die error, you could be looking at a rare and incredibly valuable coin. Coins with double die errors are highly prized by collectors, and they can sell for far more than a standard, uncirculated coin. Another type of error that could increase the value of the Nebraska Quarter is a misaligned die error. This happens when the dies used to strike the coin are not properly aligned, which can result in an off-center image. A misaligned die error can make the coin look like it was stamped in a crooked or uneven way, giving it a distinctive and unique appearance. Misaligned die coins are often considered mistakes from the minting process, but that's exactly what makes them so appealing to collectors. If you find a 2006 Nebraska state quarter with this type of error, you could be holding onto a coin that's worth significantly more than its face value. The rarer the error and the better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are unique, whether due to minting errors or simply because they've been preserved in pristine condition. And the 2006 Nebraska state quarter is no exception. When you combine an uncirculated coin with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a coin that could sell for an incredible amount of money. So, let's talk about how much this rare gem could actually be worth. While a regular, circulated 2006 Nebraska state quarter is worth just 25 cents, a coin in uncirculated condition can easily be worth several dollars. However, the real magic happens when you factor in minting errors. A rare 2006 Nebraska state quarter with a significant error, such as a double die or misaligned die, could be worth a jaw-dropping $68,000. Yes, you heard that right. $68,000 for a single 2006 Nebraska state quarter. That's the kind of potential this coin has. So, if you've got one of these coins lying around in your collection, or if you come across one in your pocket change, make sure to check it closely. It could be a hidden treasure just waiting to be discovered. Coin collecting is an exciting journey, and the thrill of finding a rare, valuable coin makes it all the more rewarding. If you enjoyed learning about the 2006 Nebraska state quarter and want to dive even deeper into the world of coin collecting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting for those rare coins.